How you guys doing tonight? Looks like we got most things working, so we're gonna get underway. Welcome. How are you guys enjoying Anime Expo? You can answer with a woo. Awesome. We're Lab Zero. Thanks for coming. We're gonna run through some self-introductions for those of you who aren't familiar with us. Yeah, sure. Let's. Okay, yeah, sure. Here you go. Go ahead. Kick us off, Will.
What? Oh, hi. Hi, I'm Will Fang. I am a producer over at Titmouse and Trigger.
Hi, I'm Sung Jin. I'm a director over at Titmouse. I got to collaborate with Lab Zero on this awesome project.
日本から来ました、作曲家の菊田博樹と言います。大体の人には「水拳伝説2」というゲームでおなじみだと思います。よろしくお願いします。
I'm Hiroki Kikuta from Japan. I'm the composer for Indivisible. Yeah. I'm Earl, one of the, some of you know me as Render. Whee! What's up? I'm one of the designers on Indivisible and here to also interpret.
Hi, I'm Max Gunn, also known as Mr. Beazle, and I'm the lead environment artist on Indivisible.
I'm Peter Bartholomew, I'm the CEO of Lab Zero.
Hi, I'm Mariel Cartwright. I'm the art director and lead animator on Indivisible.
Yeah, they're remote. Hi, I'm Mike Z. I'm the janitor and the person who's going to screw up the presentation at some point. So let's hear it for everybody else.
I am Liam. I'm the community manager for Hidden Variable.
I'm Charlie Price, I'm the game director for Skullgirls Mobile.
All right, so we're gonna kick it off with some general updates.
General update, sir.
At ease, sir. At ease, soldier. Okay, so Peter, you want to kick it off?
Yeah, so game is, progress is the game is progressing. We're currently working towards alpha. So yeah, as you're aware, we had a delay that we announced. We apologize, but it's just a really big game. You want to talk about that, some Mariel and Mike?
Should we show off the trailer?
Sure, if you want.
Yeah, let's show the trailer. What are we making?
Oh, we're gonna do the trailer. Check out this trailer.
D3 trailer.
Okay, videos. It's in videos, probably.
So yeah, we had that delay, but we released a trailer recently that shows a lot of the progress that you guys, that we want to show off, including a lot of the work that the environment team's been putting on for the various areas, and featuring awesome music from...
Keep this what?
No.
I did it already.
Is it? Oh. Apparently I'm the one with the USB stick. Here it is.
All right. Janitor to the rescue. Is that a USB port? Let's find out.
You know where your USB ports are?
I know where they are on the left. All right. So this is gonna have all of our packages in it. And trailers. This?
Super confidential.
Yes.
All right. Hey, let's make it work. Six.
Rosie, wait!
Yeah, so as you can see, there's a lot of variety in the kind of levels, and that takes a lot of art, and it takes a lot of time. So yeah, it's...
Yeah.
do you want to talk about kind of the story stuff?
Yeah, I mean. So again, this is a huge game. I think it's just kind of expanded as we've kind of continued to work on it, which is kind of what inevitably happens. But one of the reasons for the delay is that we really wanted to iron out the story. And we had the story worked out pretty much, very early on, but we kind of got started a little late in actually hiring our lead writer. Originally, we were kind of splitting the work up amongst a couple of different people, but then it was like, I don't know, it wasn't quite working out. So we've only recently hired our lead writer to actually go through and write the whole thing. Kind of working off our outlines, and like the story's the same that we had planned from the beginning, but now we actually have someone to give it character and charm and make it funny and make Ajna stupid, and so that's kind of one of the reasons for the delay.
Well,
I think. Oh, go ahead.
The story structure also made it really hard to cut like a level
Yeah.
or whatever. Like we were pretty much locked in by the story, so there weren't really any easy cuts that we could make. A lot of times, when games get delayed, they're just like, we'll cut a level, but it's like, okay, but that means rewriting like the whole story around this new missing thing, and that just wasn't really feasible either.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of ended up that we couldn't not do any of the stuff that we had planned, which will make everybody here happy, but means that it'll take slightly longer. I have never been on a game where at some point during the development they didn't say, oh, we really wanted to do this thing, now we actually have to do it. All right. So.
I think also there's this perception out there that we've taken forever to make this game and get it out. But I think part of the reality of that is that we told the public that we had this idea from the very, very, very start.
Yeah.
And in reality, like the whole development time is going to be like 3 years,
Yeah.
which is pretty normal in reality. I think it's just that with any other game announcement,
Except Square Enix.
Oh, well, sure. with any other game announcement, you only hear about the game for the first time after it's already been in development for 2 years. So then they announce it, and then it's like, oh, it'll be out in a year, and that's why it seems like we take so much longer, but it's the same. We just announced it way sooner than anyone else. Mike, you should talk about our new level designer.
Oh. He was supposed to be here, but he honestly would rather work. So
He's in the office working
I
right
can't
now.
feel anything.
Give it up for Matthew.
So we hired Matthew Kumar, who has been amazing. He was originally in Canada and actually moved here for the duration of this project. And he's been super great. We have paper maps of things. He asks me questions that I'm like, I never thought about that, and I probably should have like a year ago. It's been really wonderful to have him here, like be able to interact with him all the time, I say, as he's not actually here. So one of the other things that we realized while we were working on this is like, we knew what we wanted from the beginning, but we didn't actually realize what it would take to get to that point. Like, originally I was responsible for levels, and with Earl's help, and that didn't work because I'm also responsible for, janitorial duties like restocking the refrigerator and stuff. And then we hired JP, who is, I can't actually see. Oh, he's not up here? I'm just, what? Yeah, so hi JP, who has been a big help on levels, but also ended up taking over AI for enemies, and then we needed somebody who could full-time focus on levels, and like that kind of, I guess, we had that kind of knowledge for fighting games, but we didn't really have it for something this large, and like everybody that I talk to about this project who's been in game development says, how many people do you have on the team? And I'm like, well, we have 18 and a bunch of contractors. It is 18, right? Is it 20 now?
It's still 18.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm like 18 and a lot of art contractors, and they're like, that sounds like a 40-person game. So all of us have to split.
We're trying.
Yeah, I'm learning from myself. It hasn't worked yet.
Oh, I forgot to mention our lead writer's name is Brandon Sheffield, and he's a cool guy.
JP is a cool guy too.
We love you, JP.
Go on to art. Okay, so we wanted to show you guys some art. Do you want to?
Just say next.
Next. There it is. So we have our full lineup of all our incarnations. I think, have we revealed everyone so far? Everyone that's on here? I think so.
Not actually.
Really?
Yeah. I want to say not.
No, we have. In some
so-
form or another, like on streams and things like that.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, they've all been, if you've been paying attention, there are no surprises here.
So we have, are you surprised? We have 22 incarnations, plus we have 3 designs that came from 3 of our backers. And then in addition to that, we'll have the 10 guest characters as DLC, right?
9?
9? 9?
It says 10 on the screen, so it's 10.
There might be another one, we'll see.
Okay.
Anyway,
I
a
don't
bunch.
remember. I forgot, but yeah.
I think this is a perfect opportunity. Some of the character designs you guys are intimately familiar with, but may have not seen in the flesh. We wanted to show off our awesome cosplayers. Come on and have everybody check you guys out. You guys can come out front. Just careful, please don't trip on anything. All right, obviously we've got Ajna right here, and Zebe, and Naga Rider, and Kampan. So they're all super great, and they're super friendly. Down at our booth in the exhibit hall, 3711 is our booth number. You can come down, and we've got a cool backdrop of Ashwat, the village that Ajna comes from, and you can take a cool photo with them. They're all super friendly, so come hang out.
I would like to offer extra kudos to anyone that's walking around in this weather in armor or jackets or anything. So every cosplayer, you have my utmost respect.
So yeah, this is where we ended up. I think probably some people are a little disappointed that maybe their favorite incarnation from the original campaign didn't make it in, but I think we do want to find a way to include, as much as we can, whether they just end up as NPCs. But this is our full playable lineup, right? Yeah. Plus the 3 we can't show. And these images are just from their model sheets, so they're kind of pure reference, and they don't really display a lot of the personality that anyone has. Like, they have their arms out or whatever, it's nothing. So if this looks boring, it won't be later, sorry.
Trust us.
This is just like pure information, it's like their heights and stuff. Let's see, what should we? Yeah, let's do that. Yeah! We're gonna put that there. Okay, yeah. We're not doing that yet. Can you go to the folder of animations?
Yep.
It was very late when I put that together last night. It was very sleepy. Yes. I mean, you can just kind of click through them. So I just picked out a bunch of rough and clean animations from some characters I feel like we haven't really featured a lot of, because they've been the ones that we've done kind of recently over the past couple months. So we have Antoine, who is our latest revealed incarnation, and he got a complete redesign. He's pretty much new at this point. But I like how he turned out.
I think he still has that same sort of like pompous air about him.
Right, yeah,
Original design
for
had.
sure.
We tried really hard to like retain his like character, like his core ethos. I'm not sure that's the right word to use, but I used it.
Cool. Everybody sounds like super dry at this point. I cannot wait for this character, okay?
Yeah, I think he'll be a lot of fun. There's his idol. Most of the animations are done at this point by our senior animators, John Kim and Chris Koh. I do animate a little bit, but not nearly as much because I have a lot of other stuff to do. So
John's chilling over there. Let's hear it for John.
Enjoy the animations. They're awesome.
John, call us if you ever want to jump over to TV.
You're so cool. You're cool.
I know.
What was that? Yeah, just keep going.
All right. You tell me what to do.
Yeah, so this is another one of our incarnations. This is Hunach, who has a ghost brother named Zebotch. And do you want to talk about the way he works a little bit? Because it's a little different than originally.
Sure. There are more of these. I don't know. Right. I don't have a microphone. You all were spared. I don't know why it refuses to scale this image. I tried everything this morning and it didn't work. But yeah, so he's a fusion of two of the incarnations that we had during the campaign. Because we might be Steven Universe fans, but also because they worked really well together. So the way they work, because it's not, yeah, there you go. So it's not a he, it's a they. The way they work is they have one corporeal and one ghost at a time, but they switch back and forth. So each time you attack with them, the ghost comes out and becomes a ball, and then you hit the ball with an attack, and it hits the enemy and comes back, and you hit it with another one, and it hits the enemy and comes back, but it gets faster and does more damage each time. And then if you do that for all of your attacks, you get, I'm hoping it's in here, but I'm guessing it probably isn't. That's idle, so that's definitely not it. Oh yes, that's later. So if you hit it for your whole turn, then you get a bigger super strike at the end. And depending on which brother you have out, the ball has different effects on the enemy and bounces different ways. So this is one of their supers. That's the other version of this. So I don't know if you know anything about Mesoamerican ball. I cannot pronounce the actual name of the sport.
Tonality ball is what we call it.
Well, that's ours. I just meant the original. So the aim was to get the ball through stone rings. So in this case, they're wearing belts that work as rings. So this is one of the supers where he throws the belt up and then you spike the ball through it. And then the higher level super is actually you throw the enemy around and you spike them around and you hit other enemies with them. So we're trying really hard to make every character completely unique. So some of them are going to take a little bit more getting used to when you first try to play them, because like there's actually timing involved in hitting the ball when it comes back, right? But I hope this helps convey that not everybody is just hit the other person until they fall over, right? Sorry. You okay? Oh, it's not scaling this one either? Man.
See if they're...
Can I hit different keys? Do they do things? Ah, hey, a hotkey that works. All right. No, what? What is that? Why are things happening? Okay, well, this one at least shows up at the right size. I'm sorry. Sorry, Kushi, we don't get to see you for your whole glory. So this is Altun, which is part of Kushi and Altun. So that's Kushi. That's the top half of Kushi. So she's a falconer, and you can attack either with the falcon on her arm, or separately, or with Kushi riding Altun, which you can't see in half of this, which is awesome.
This was supposed to be...
I mean, I can do this, and you can sort of see it.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah, that's probably better, right? So they have two different modes that you can attack with. You can either attack with her and the bird separately, or them together as a group. Oh yeah, also, since we have to animate hit stunts for everybody, so. But yeah, got told to speed up, so I'm speeding up.
Yeah. Well, and also we got some colored stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, speaking color stuff, our lead cleanup artist, Richard, is chilling over there. Give it up for Richard. He's the lead cleanup artist. He and his cleanup team do a fantastic job bringing all of these to life, which is why you get to see them in glorious color.
Yeah, I feel like we tend to put out like a lot of our rough animation stuff and people don't see the clean animations just kind of as they are without being in game. So I included some this time.
Thank you.
Hey.
I appreciate this. I know, she's awesome. So she's sort of one of the whack them until they fall over characters, but she's cute, so it's okay. Oh, you want me to speed through Sangmu? Okay, fine. Okay.
I put too much stuff in here.
Yeah, this is Sangmu. She's probably one of my top 3. In fact, she's definitely one of my top 3. She might be my favorite. Can I? I don't know. Nope. Okay. Well, we went 2 ahead, but okay, so this is Tarani. Yep.
This is missing a bunch of effects. She'll kind of do like a hair rainbow, like water sprinkler thing.
Ship it. It's great.
Oh, this has all.
Yeah, this has the effects in it.
Cool.
And was that it? Are there more? There's a couple more.
Oh. All right.
Okay, let's just show off the rest, and everyone can. Yeah.
If you want to talk about this.
Yeah. Well, we could just show them off and leave them with an air of mystery.
All right. I mean, they can at least know who they are.
Okay. This is Zara. Yay!
I will just say this, Zara doesn't hit you at all. So, air of mystery.
We're really excited to show you how all these characters work. You'll have to wait a little bit longer, obviously, but for now you can take in their glorious animations.
Cool. We also wanted to show you guys some new environment art, courtesy of our lead environment artist, Max.
Give it up for Max.
I think if you wanna just talk through a little bit about what you've been doing, how you put this together.
Let's see, Mike mentioned that it used to be his responsibility along with picking up the garbage and some other things, and a lot of like real stuff. Used to be his responsibility to do levels with Biddy. That worked out for a while, but really, as soon as we got Matthew, that enabled us to like really push forward really quickly. So we started getting like some really big level designs, really great stuff, and my environment team, Giuliano, Giuliano and Sam, I think my mic cut out a little bit. We've been just grinding through these levels, just nonstop, just arting them, and they've been really leveling up, and I've had a lot of fun. Just learning from them as well. I'm really proud of all the hard work they're doing. It really takes a lot of flexibility to kind of just be able to do a lot. No artist should, in my opinion, just kind of be stuck in one thing. Like, no one's really just a concept artist in game development, in my opinion. And even Sam, our concept artist, he's in here like world building. He watched a couple tutorial videos that I did on how to use the editor, and he gets in there and with Giuliano, and he put this scene together, for example, which is an attic scene, and he added a lot of atmosphere to it. And Giuliano had no world building experience either. And he put together, can you go up another one? One more, maybe? One more. Okay. He put together this room in Taikron, looks great. And even Jen, she has some animation experience, but now she's just like kind of full-fledged our in-house tech artist for environment teams, and it's been really, really helpful.
Sam's actually floating around somewhere in here. Where are you, Sam? Oh, yeah, Sam! Give it up for Sam!
Is there anyone else in the environment team here, or are they at the booth right now?
I don't think they're the booth, but I don't know. Jen, you guys see? Okay.
Sure, don't worry.
Yeah.
I was also going to mention that these are all in-engine screenshots, so for what that's worth. Yep. Yeah. Okay.
Cool. Let's go over some gameplay stuff. If that. Oh, a request. What? Okay. Mike needs to get the game running, so we need to do something else for a second. But we do have something else to show.
Which is on the computer.
Oh, well, no, it's fine. It's right here.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah.
We brought something. There he is.
So yeah, this is the first prototype of the Launchy plush. We worked really hard with Sanchi on him to make him perfect, and he turned out really well. He's super, super soft.
He's incredibly soft. Have you guys ever touched a chinchilla? You know how like when you touch him, it doesn't feel like you're touching anything? This is like this.
Initial designs were not quite as soft or like fluffy, and they would come in and we'd be like, that's not fluffy enough. So we managed to get a couple more prototypes in, and now it is the right degree of fluff.
See, here he is.
I actually had kind of imagined him being a little bit bigger. What do you guys think? Do you like the size, or should we go bigger, or what do you?
Bigger? Should we be bigger? Can we do like one huge one?
Life size.
Life-size one. Should do life-size one.
I feel like those would be prohibitively expensive.
There's gonna be like one person out there that's gonna want that.
I want to see those at Costco.
I'll buy it.
See, we got a couple. I don't know. We should
Sell
see
it
how
for
much
all the money.
I don't think we're gonna have economies of scale.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So how can people get these?
When the game is out, we will be launching these probably on Sanchi.com. So, yeah.
Awesome. Yay.
Oh wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. Can you see?
Oh, cool.
See, I don't think you can see it.
Yeah, it's hard to see.
He has a butthole.
Camera, hands camera.
Almost. Mike says almost.
It's there.
Oh my god. Okay, enough about the dog. Yes. Everyone's got to put them.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
All right.
You asked me to show some gameplay, so I need to unplug something to make sure it worked, right? All right. Don't mind me, these are confusing. Okay, really. Possibly it works again. Let's find out. Can you?
Yep.
Yeah, it worked. Okay, there's a mouse. Isn't it great?
We present you
All right.
Windows 10.
Oh, I didn't. Okay, three more seconds. 1, 2, 3. All right, let's try that again. All right, did it work? It worked. Okay. So this is me showing off. Right, you guys want to know what we're doing, so this is bleeding edge because this only started to work last week. So it doesn't hit or anything like that, but in case you wanted a sneak preview of the stuff that we're going to have later on in the game. This is me, so.
I haven't even seen this.
Yep. Yeah, so he can do a couple of things so far. He can drill. And he can dash. And he can fight you, but I can't show that off right now because I had like 30 seconds to make this work. So that's one. All right, I'm gonna unplug it again. So now I can do this stuff.
And that'll happen in a level that's much more suited for that. Yeah, you see him in a desert. He's a sandworm. He's not a box debug world worm.
All right, we can try it again.
All right, you want the mic back?
Yeah. Okay, so that's fine. We can ignore you're falling over, and I can turn the sound down. All right. So yes, you always get to see everything in my test level. So the other stuff that I was going to show off, since we have in progress things, is let's do that so that I can make them not hit me. Dink. So I'll give you some extra people in the party, because I can. So this is Phoebe and Zara and Kampan. And also for those of you who had the backer preview, you probably also noticed that the pips below the characters that show when you can attack show your buttons, which is much more useful. Let's not be able to kill him. Which is much more useful than not having one, right? Oh, wow. So, if any of you ever wanted to play video games on one of these, there's something like more than a second of lag. Like, I can see the difference. Okay, so this is Phoebe, who's in progress. Huh? Oh, okay. Real fast. And Kampan, who's even more in progress. And Zara, who is equally in progress but has the effects in these. Yeah, so just as a sneak preview of the stuff that we're doing, there are a lot of characters, but I'm being told I talk for too long, so.
Happening.
Hey, so let's,
Just this.
By special request. Oh my God! You get the mic.
Cable is obviously copyright Marvel, etc. Okay. What else do you need?
So yeah, we're going to talk about the music with Kikuta for a bit now. So I have questions. So Kikuta, do you want to discuss the process of making the music a little bit?
よろしくお願いします。このインディビズブルっていうそのゲームの音楽を作るのはとても難しいんですけど、それはなぜかというと、このゲームのイメージが西洋的だったりアメリカ的だったりそういうのではなくて、アジアや日本やいろんなそういうちょっと不思議な民族調のイメージがいっぱいあって、そういったものをこう一緒にして新しい音楽を作ってくれっていう注文だったので、これはとても難しい仕事でした。
So Indivisible is actually a very difficult type of game to create music for, because it's such a confluence of different cultures and not from like the typical Western cultures that might be used to, but like Japan, Asia, kind of the Southeast Asia area. Putting all those together and having a mesh is a little difficult to achieve.
普通の、ファンタジーの音楽だったら、例えばオーケストラがジャジャーンってなって、いかにもファンタジーですって中世みたいな音楽だと思うんですけど、このインディビズブルの音楽はそういうのではなくて、もっといろんな民族音楽の楽器を使ってくれ、いろんな個性のある楽器を使ってくれ、そういう条件の中でもその複雑でいろんな感情を表現して、そこに、すごく特徴的な心のドラマがあって、そういったものを全部で、音楽で表現するということが今回の僕のテーマでした。
So having, so because the task was to have all those mesh together and still evoke a very dramatic story, it's a difficult process because you still want to be able to give it its own characteristic, so it's not any one specific one of those, but having that dramatic story be told through the music is difficult to achieve, but that's the order.
Yeah, so we have another little thing with Kikuta, but just a reminder, we have 2 autograph sessions with him, and we're giving out sampler CDs at the booth, so please come by and get them. Get tickets for autographs if you're interested. The autograph sessions will be at 12:20 tomorrow and on Sunday, so please come by and do that. At Kikuta, there was one piece in particular. Oh, okay. Go ahead.
もっと話していいですよ。どんなこと話せばいいのかわかんないんだけど。だからとにかく僕が言いたいのはこのインディビジブルの仕事はとても難しい仕事だったということです。それは、まず第一にそのピーターやこのゲームを作ろうと思っているこのチームの人たちのイメージがとてもしっかりしたものだったということです。で、彼らの持っているイメージを僕がどんな風に音楽にするかっていうのが僕のテーマなんだけど、彼らの持っているイメージを、なんて言うんだろうな、それを本当に誤解のないように間違いがないように彼らが思っているそのままに作るということが僕の仕事で、それを彼らに聞かせてこの通りだよこれだよって言ってくれることが僕にとっての一番の大きな喜びなのです。
So part of the task was to be able to create music that is in line with the team's image of what the story is, and make sure that I produce music to nail exactly the type of feeling that the team's story is supposed to evoke. And it's very difficult to do that, especially because the team has such a particular image of what it's supposed to be. So whenever I submit a song and they're like, yeah, that's it, that's exactly it, that's exactly what we want, that's one of the greatest joys of creating the music for Indivisible.
ゲームミュージックっていうのが普通の音楽とちょっと違うところは、みんな、ゲームを遊ぶ時にそのゲームの音楽をもう延々と聴くわけです。普通音楽を聴くって言ってもみんな何回か聴いてそのまま聴かなくなることがほとんどなんだけど、ゲームの音楽は遊んでいる間中ずっと聴く。だから僕がいつも言うのは、ゲームの音楽はそのドラマチックだしアクションを表現するし感情を込めてるけど、でも飽きない音楽にしなくちゃいけない。何回聴いても何度でもずっと聴き続けられる音楽にしなくちゃいけないというのがゲーム音楽のテーマです。
So one particular characteristic about game music is that you need to create something that people will be able, because in games you're playing them for a really long time, you need to be able to create music that people can listen to over and over and over and over again and not get tired of it. So that's his wheelhouse in that the trick is to make something that evokes the drama, the action, and the emotion of the game through music, but make it in such a way that you can listen to it just forever without really having those feelings diminish.
で普通こんな話はしないんだけど、正直に言うと、そのゲーム音楽で飽きないということで一番難しいのは、作ってるチームの人たちが飽きないということなんです。なぜならばどんなプレイヤーよりもまずそれを制作しているチームのみんなが一番長くその音楽を聴くからです。
So one of the tricks about it also is to aim to be able to make music that the team making the game can still listen to the music and not get tired of it, because they're the ones more than even just the players, who have to listen to it more than anyone in the world. So if you can achieve that, Peter and Mike can attest to this, by the way.
Yeah, like I listen to the game music like while I work on the game, and I don't get tired of it. I still love it.
Yeah, I also want to second that. When we were working on other levels, I'm always like, oh man, I get to hear this piece again. It's amazing. So I can't wait till we can actually share it.
I was going to say, speaking of which,
I did. Oh, not his time. I don't know his time. I forgot what time his panel is now. Kikuta has a panel tomorrow as well.
At some point.
Yeah.
we'll find out. So before the end of this panel, I will tell you the time for Hiroki Kikuta's session, or his personal panel that's happening at Anime Expo. So definitely check that out. 最後の
この、本当に一生懸命作ってくれてるこのチームのみんなが、ゲームを開発している間中ずっと聴いても飽きない音楽を僕は作りましたので、皆さんもプレイしている間中ずっと聴いても飽きないと思いますので、たくさんプレイしてください。
So I feel that I've successfully created music that the team can listen to for a really long time without getting tired of it. So I'm very confident that you all will be able to listen to it without tiring of it. So please play the game for a long, long time. And Will just slid in with the save here. His panel tomorrow is at 1:30 p.m.
Saturday.
Okay.
Saturday.
Saturday.
I mean Saturday at 1:30 p.m. So check that out.
Okay, so there was one piece of music in particular that took a really long time to get right, and I apologize, Kikuta, but it was really important. Mike?
I have no idea how loud this is going to be, so
Okay.
let's find out. Number 1, right?
Yeah.
All right, I don't want to screw that up. I bet you thought we were going to let you see the whole thing, huh? Yeah, me too.
But yeah, just to kind of whet your appetite for the final thing, it goes on a bit longer. It's very nice. It's wonderful.
A bit?
And we have Will and Sungin here to talk about it.
Hey, we're the Outliers.
What up, guys?
So what are we talking about? Talking about the opening?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, all right. All right, so we produced the opening with Titmouse and Trigger. This was actually like a perfect storm. There's so many moving parts because we had 3 studios going at it.
I call it the Triforce.
We could call it the Triforce. It all started, I don't know if you hear the story, but it all started way back when I was an indie producer, and I was actually trying to get a Skullgirls animation going. And that unfortunately didn't work out, or didn't pan out. And then, I love these guys and we've been friends for a while, and they told me that they were working on Indivisible. And an idea sparked through my mind. I was like, oh, can I get your opening? Can I do the opening? And then, so they're like, yeah, let's try to work it out. And at that time I was repping Trigger. And one thing led to another. And at one point I was like, I always wanted to work with Sunjin, such an amazing director. And I've had an association with Titmouse for almost 15 years. And I was like, why don't we get Titmouse to do the storyboards, Sunjin in particular, and we'll get Trigger to do the rest. And then when I went to go talk to Trigger about it, they're like, why don't we get Yoshinari to do it? And I was like, okay. Does he want to do it? And then, you know, Yoshinari's a pretty stone-faced guy. He's like, yes.
So Will approaches me and say, hey, I think this is going to happen. We're going to have a collaboration in Trigger, Lab Zero, and Titmouse. And they wanted me to storyboard the opening for the game. And I was like, that was my first brick I shat. And then the second brick I shot was when Will was like, yeah, and Yoshinari's gonna animate the whole thing. So you storyboard it, he animates it. So that's the second brick that I shot. And then the third brick I shot, can I say shot? Okay, I'm saying shot. The third,
Is this a PG panel?
it's Anime Expo.
Too late now.
And then the third brick I shot was when they revealed to me that the legendary composer Kikuta-san was gonna do the music for the opening. And so for me, these Lab Zero and the team have been working very long. Yeah, so they're gonna be playing the animatic that I boarded in the background, but I'll just talk about the backgrounds of the process. And so, the Lab Zero team is working away this game a lot longer than I have. I just came in for a hot second and had some meeting with them. They gave me a quick rundown of like, this is the game, this is the lore, this is like Ajna's past, this is like what we want to happen, and this is what we want to tease in the opening, but not really show too much. And so I got off of all this information about the character in the game in one meeting, and then I shot my fourth brick. Then the next day,
You poop a lot.
Why are you eating bricks, man?
Tomato, tomato. And then the next day, like, we're in the meeting room again, and then boom, across the table, Yoshinari-san's here in LA, just staring at me so cold. And we're having a collaborative meeting together with Lab Zero, Titmouse, and Trigger all in one room physically. So that's my fifth brick I shot, and I promise that's the last one I shot. But,
Yeah, I think one thing that really drove it was Kikuta-san's music. Tsumi, the producer over at Trigger that handled all of that, she was a huge fan of Secret of Mana. So she was super happy to be working with this type of music.
So, I mean, for me, after all that happened and I got started, I just like crawled into a hole and like try to find myself again, because that was a lot of pressure for me, like, hey, storyboard this thing that Kikuta-san composing and Yoshinari-san can animate. And I'm just like, I'm just a guy at Titmouse, like, I don't know why I'm here.
Yeah, to add on, like what you're seeing right now is kind of what we call like the Senga, which is kind of like an animatic or like with rough scenes put together. This part was, there's stuff that was finished, stuff that wasn't. It wasn't fully composited without the filters and making it look nice. But one thing that was interesting was Yoshinari pretty much, with a small crew, hand animated everything. So this is, and it was funny because he just came off of Little Witch Academia, and Sumi's like, he won't let go of the scenes. He's literally doing everything, and it's like, sorry, we're taking him a little bit too. Sorry, Peter. Sorry, we were a little bit delayed on that one. But Yoshinari-san was like, I'm gonna animate literally everything, and pretty much like all those backgrounds, all the side characters, animation, like that's Yoshinari right there. Like, man, this is like master animator at work,
But great for him. Think about me, I was dying. All this pressure just crumpling on me.
Oh yeah, the pressure was pretty bad when I came back to Sunjin. I was like, hey, Yoshinari wants to revise your stuff. Yeah.
Well, that was the sixth brick, actually.
But then eventually, when we found out what he was doing, there was a little bit of miscommunication, and it was more like, oh, we're gonna improve. We're adding on top of what you were already doing. And like everything, as you can see, from, the final piece to the animatic to, the rough Senga, like you can see that Sunjin stuff is still intact.
And I would say to Kikuta-san, like, Lab Zero gave me the whole lowdown of like, this is the backstory, just kind of want to go for the opening. And it was a lot of information to try to condense in 2 minutes or so. But I think Kikuta's music really helped me, because it's always the challenge of an artist. You sit there with a blank canvas, and that's the biggest challenge. But I think his music really guided me to dictate and motivate what kind of shots and how I wanted the opening to flow. So thank you.
Yeah. Can we show it again?
The final one?
The final one?
Yep.
Do you guys want to see it again? Well, I think we're out of time, so I don't think we can show it, right?
Oh, man,
Why? No, I'm just joking. Please don't take a video of this. I'm usually a liar. I lie a lot, but I can guarantee you that the rest of the opening is pretty cool.
I was gonna say that I didn't actually notice the statue that she walks by until I saw it in I guess it was the second one?
Is that bad?
No, it was
Oh, okay.
like because we always show process, right? So, okay, never mind. Okay, well, we always show process, so like it's neat getting to see this be in progress, and like that giant statue that she walks by, I didn't notice at all in the final until I watched this one. So like, process is pretty cool.
You guys are having panels soon for...
We are having panels. So actually at this Anime Expo, the 3 studios are helping to promote Indivisible. And you know, you guys should come to all of our different panels because we're going to be actually showing different parts of the process.
Oh, it's like a little collector's quest.
Yeah, like a little collector's quest, but you don't get anything at the end.
Wednesday.
Except satisfaction.
Those are my favorite ones.
A panel. Okay, well, we got a lot of trigger panels going. But we do have a panel tonight for the Kill la Kill game with Arc System Works. That's at 5:30, I believe. Is it 5:30? Sushio cosplayer? 6. Oh, it's at 6.
I hope it's at 6. Because it's at 5:30.
Yeah, and then, oh yeah, that's right. And then the main Trigger Industry panel is tomorrow at 5:30 to 8:30, and we'll be premiering SSSSSSS Gridman. Yeah, so we'll be showing some stuff there. We'll be surprising you with a lot of things, and hopefully you can come to that. And then we have
The Titmouse panel on Saturday, which if you guys want to see me again, I'll be there. Woo! Yeah, meet me.
All right.
And that's going to be at 1 p.m. tomorrow, or Saturday. So it's going to be a Titmouse panel. We're just going to show a lot of Titmouse is studio based here, so we're just going to be showing some stuff and also promoting this.
if you like pop rocks, you should come. and then finally, sorry, it wasn't trigger. I have so many panels. And then finally, on Saturday as well, at 8:30 to 9:50, we have a live drawing with Sushio, Sakamoto, Koyama. This sounds like gibberish, but they're people who worked on Gridman, Darling in the Franxx, and the character designer of Kill la Kill.
Give it up for Will and Sunjin. And Kikuta-san, obviously.
Okay, so we have almost 10 minutes left for Q&A. Sorry, this went a little long, so.
Except Charlie talked slowly.
I got it. Okay, so here's how this is gonna work. People are gonna raise their hands. Y'all are gonna pick something. I'm gonna run around with a mic, and whoever they choose can ask a question, so that we don't have a crazy line.
Oh man, the reward for you running is gonna be a high five, I guess.
Cool. I love high fives.
You pick. Oh yeah.
Oh yes, absolutely. Okay. Aja, everybody please check out Ajna's awesome costume here. Woo! You look really familiar. She's been coming to our panel every year as some amazing character, Peacock, Umbrella, and now Ajna. I think there was more. Anyway, you look great. Oh, okay. Awesome. Well, here you go.
I was wondering, what was more fun to make, an RPG game or a fighting game?
That totally depends on who you ask. Actually, this RPG has been as much fun as a fighting game because we got to do all of the like actual interactions with characters. It's not just, step forward and go like this and then step backwards and the enemy takes some damage. So it's been about the same, actually. This has definitely been harder.
Yeah, I think for me, like, they're both fun. They're challenging in different ways. Like, this game is so much bigger, and as far as my job goes, I'm doing so much more. Like, I have to kind of make everything mesh together, like the art and the animation, and then make sure those two things work with the gameplay, and then I have to work with Max on the environments. And so for like, as far as my stuff goes, I'm just doing so much more, which is interesting and new in its own way. I do miss animating a little bit. I'm animating so little now, and I kind of want to just draw a little bit. But yeah, well,
Cool.
You can still try.
Need more friends.
Okay, let's see some hands. Y'all gotta choose.
Hello. Oh, loud. So I had a quick question about Indivisible and NPCs that are going to be like, you revealed like the new kind of city, Iron City, I think it was called, Iron Kingdom. And in general, are you going to include people in the background to just give the cities more life? Because I know like you're going to be running into enemies and have to hit them, like done in the jungle level. But how is that going to play out when you're supposed to be in like a crowded environment?
Yeah, so we do have an awesome studio named BidEgg that's actually helping out with our NPC animations, and we already have a ton of backer NPCs to start, and then we're gonna have a bunch of our own actual Indivisible world NPCs. So we've kind of like split up the game into like these are fighting sections, and these are kind of like town, like more safe sections. And I think that's kind of how it's gonna get split up. And it'll also work into the story where like in the areas that you are able to talk to NPCs, they'll kind of be giving you a little bit of background on like the city and stuff. So I think we've just kind of spaced it out where you're in a dungeon and you're not gonna find any NPCs, or you're in the town and you can talk to people. What are you doing?
Nothing.
Okay, next question. Who has got one over here? Blue hair, what's up? Can you guys pass the mic?
Pro tip, if you want to be able to ask questions, have some sort of easily identifiable characteristic like that.
My personal question was if we were ever possibly gonna get any new characters for Skullgirls. I'm saying like after Indivisible or anything else? Or any new lore questions answered about Double?
Yeah, I mean, I think if new Skullgirls characters are going to happen, that's going to have to be Skullgirls 2. That is not on the cards right now, unfortunately. So yeah, I mean, it's something we'd like to do, but I just don't see it happening anytime soon, unfortunately.
Over here, any questions? Oh, your hand shot up right away. You get it. Here we go.
What was your inspiration of making Indivisible?
Could you repeat the question?
What was the inspiration for making Indivisible?
Sure. I mean, it kind of went through the whole team. I mean, kind of the original, core germ of the game came from an idea I had, 15 years ago that I kind of, threw out, and then, Alex and the team kind of took it in this totally different direction into what became Indivisible. And then, yeah, as the story developed, we started getting gameplay ideas from that, and kind of the Buddhist and Hindu themes in it also influenced a lot of the gameplay decisions in it as well, like the inner realm, and kind of absorbing people and learning abilities from them and things like that. So, yeah, I mean, the whole team contributed.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I would say also that a lot of the concepts came from our concept lead, Alex, who himself is Filipino-Burmese, and I think he wanted to see a lot of the stuff that kind of surrounds, his family and his experiences, and we don't really see a lot of media drawn from Southeast Asian cultures, And I think that was one of the core driving things for all of us, where Alex said, there's like a wealth of amazing like stories and imagery that we could draw from, and I think would mean a lot of people to have represented in something that everyone can play. So I think that's kind of part of it too, that we were all kind of on board with something that Alex wanted to achieve.
My question is, we know how progression works in the backer demo of like, you find things all over sprawled around the map, but I was wondering, how does progression work in the main game? Like, is there going to be like a leveling system? Is there going to be just mostly through the story and stuff like that, or anything like that?
Sorry, you told me to do this and I actually didn't hear.
How does the progression work in the main game?
I'm gonna be dumb. Can you ask it again?
Okay, so the question was that in the backer demo, you mostly find things sprawled around the map to grab.
Okay, got it. Yeah, so you don't just come upon characters standing around and then they join your party and that's it. You meet them through cutscenes or events or doing other things first, and then they join you when they feel like they should. And so it's much more like Valkyrie Profile 1 instead of Valkyrie Profile 2, if that helps. We had to fit 9 characters into the same level, so it was just like, here, we're just going to give them to you because we couldn't write cutscenes for all of them. But in the updated backer preview, like, you get ginseng by going through a quest first. That's closer to what we're going to do for the final game. So they have a lot more stuff going on before they join you. And they join you for reasons that aren't just, hey, I was really bored standing in this ruins. So I hope that helps. But yeah, there was a lot of stuff that was like, if we implemented this in the backer preview, then we have to do all of that work for everybody right now. That's stuff we're just going to throw out because it's not the main story. So we chose not to, except to show you what it was basically going to be.
So, out of all the Indivisible incarnations, which ones were your favorite to sort of design and draw out?
I liked working on Tarani. She wasn't my design, she was Alex's, but I like drawing hot girls, so that was it for me. Am I the only artist up here?
I'm an artist.
Who was your favorite character to animate, to storyboard?
Naga Rider, yeah. Whoever said Naga Rider, yeah. I thought he was really unique, and like you guys mentioning first, the Southeast Asian culture was really well done for the game to really stand out and very colorful. So even though I got the very quick pitch of the story and the characters, and I had to have a short amount of time to work with them, I think the characters are strong enough that they made it through the final picture with my work and your guys' work. So Naga Rider for sure for me.
I'm curious if you have a favorite. Yeah. Sorry.
やってください。
好きなキャラクター。好きなキャラクター。僕の一番好きなキャラクターはなんかこんな虎みたいなやつをかぶったこうもしゃもしゃしたのが一番好きです。あ、虎？Razmin.
Yeah, Kikuta said he likes the one with the tiger on her head.
Yeah, we have 2 minutes left, so 2 questions if we're quick. So here you go. We got one lined up.
Okay, real quick. I know it's a Kickstarter game and you got a whole bunch of backers and stuff. So Indiegogo, I'm sorry. My bad. You got backer bonuses and stuff. Are there any plans for pre-order bonuses? Because I'm just saying that plush might be a good idea.
Gotta move those units. Arm.
We are planning on a little pre-order downloadable bonus. I don't think I should talk about it yet, but it's super cute. I think that's safe to say, right? You agree, don't you?
I would say yes.
Yeah.
Is it a plushie of you, Peter?
No, that would be super cute. And I think the Launching Plus is probably too expensive to include as a pre-order bonus, but we are going to have like a little digital pre-order bonus that I think people will enjoy. And of course, backers will get that without having to pre-order again.
They pre-ordered like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
The ultimate pre-order.
Do you use Flash or TV Paint or Photoshop to do the character animation?
We use Photoshop in-house just because it's kind of what we all know how to use, but also it makes exporting the individual frames very easy. But we also work with a lot of contract animators that each use their own tools. So like Flash or Animate, Toon Boom, TV Paint. Like I think we kind of run the gamut of like who uses what. But internally we do use Photoshop. I wouldn't recommend it for animation, it's not good.
I'll just follow up with that. I'm not an artist at all, but I do know that we chose someone who uses Flash for the very, very large bosses because it made them much more consistent.
Yeah.
So.
Could we put the screen back on really quick? Just one last thing. We wanted to make sure everyone knows, like all our artists can't be up here, so we wanted to make sure you guys knew where to find all of us in the Artist Alley. And that's it.
かっこいいですね。Kikutaさん。
Yeah, that's us.
So cool.
I actually might move tables, but I don't know yet. That's it from me.
But yeah, so I think that about does it for our panel. Thank you guys for coming. Please give it up for Charlie and Liam at Hidden Variable, Mike and Mariel and Peter from Lab Zero, Hiroki Kikuta-san, woo! And Will and Sunjin. Woo! Thank you guys so much for coming. Please swing by the booth. Yay! Check out that awesome big band.
Everybody.
Bye.